I'm like, what the hell? How could I be depressed? I'm looking up at this, the stars in the sky, this magnificent house with the lights on it, and I'm bummed. Let me say one thing that's really important as it relates to goals before we pivot, if you don't mind, because I just realized I forgot when I saw the foundation stuff on my board. So I built that house on the beach, okay? I worked for that freaking thing for 20 years, okay? I mean, it was amazing. I couldn't tell you all the amazing things that it had. I'll give you one example. It had a big spiral staircase up through the middle of the house. On the second floor, I built this custom aquarium. They had to build molds to put this curved aquarium visible on both sides, 20 feet long, 10 feet high. The aquarium was almost 200 grand. So that gives you an idea of the house, okay? The house is magnificent. So 2 months after I moved in, I'm floating in my pool, giant waterfall from the second floor. You had to walk through the waterfall. I've got like tens of thousands of dollars worth of palm trees that lean out over the pool that, you know, it's just magnificent. It was in magazines. The pool's changing colors. It's got fiber optic lighting. And I'm looking up at this, what I call testament to my ego. See, I had built this place to prove to the world I was good enough, to show the world that I mattered, to prove myself. Remember, my question was, how could I show them good enough? And I realized, and so I'm looking at this pool. I'm in the house. I'm in the pool and I'm looking at the house. And 2 months after I moved in, my family's inside sleeping and I get depressed. Now I don't just get a little bummed. I mean, I got really bummed. Okay. And I'm like, what the hell? How could I be depressed? I'm looking up at this, the stars in the sky, this magnificent house with the lights on it. And I'm bummed. And this is what I want to share because it's really important as it relates to goals. So what happened was, when I look back and I realized there were two things happening. One was, which relates to goals, and that is never achieve a big goal without having other goals lined up behind it. Like the good book says, without a vision, the people perish. You got to have a vision for the future. Okay. It's very important. And I didn't know what I was going to do next. So that was one thing, but a bigger thing really. And this is why I want to share with you guys, because if you're listening, I know you want success. So this is really important. Really pay attention now. Okay. I was successful, but I was unfulfilled, okay? I had been totally focused on Rod. Show the world I'm good enough. Show the world I matter. Thank God I stumbled across Tony Robbins. I got a bunch of books. You know, I'm going to get some books. I'm going to get back. I got Dale Carnegie and Zig Ziglar, and one of them was Tony. So I went and saw Tony that year in Fort Lauderdale, Ben. And this was 19, 20 years ago. And I found out that he fed families for the holidays. And I'm like, you know, that's really freaking cool. Do something for somebody else instead of just for Rod, you know, and what a concept, right? And I hadn't, you know, I was 40 years old and I hadn't really done much like that. So I go home and I decide I'm going to feed 5 families. My brother and I did this, bought a bunch of food. We did it for Thanksgiving. We got frozen turkeys and, you know, we called a church, said, who really needs help? I mean, who's desperate? And we're going to rock their world. We found out that, you know, these families had kids. We got toys for the kids. And the third house that we went to changed my life, honestly. I walked up to it. It was a 1-bedroom shotgun house. You walk into the living room, you walk through the bedroom to get to the kitchen. So it wasn't even a 1-bedroom. It was a shitty 1-bedroom. You got to walk through the bedroom to get to the kitchen, which has the bathroom off of it. Lady's there with 5 kids, okay? She comes out, she sees the boxes of food on the porch. She sees the toys, she starts crying. Her kids come out, the older ones start crying. I start crying. And I'm hooked, okay? And I'm blessed to say we have now fed, and we're feeding 1,000 families Saturday. I'm making my mastermind guys teaching, you know, we're going to give back. So we have now fed, as of Saturday, it'll be about 75,000 children here for the holidays. We've done thousands of backpacks filled with school supplies. We've done thousands of teddy bears for officers to keep in their vehicles when they encounter a child that's been traumatized. And I'm not bragging, guys. I just want to inspire you to do something, because don't say to yourself, I'll do it when I'm successful, because if you want success, it will come much faster if you bring it in right now. And I'm telling you, pick a family, pick a child, pick an elderly person, do help in some way, and it will ramp your success, because power moves to those that had value. Power moves to those that help. Okay. And give yourself that, because I will tell you, I've interviewed, like I said, billionaires on my show, mega millionaires. And I can tell when they're like I was back then, totally focused on themselves, narcissistic as it were. And I feel sad for them, because they're truly not successful. Success without this piece is not success. So anyway, before we went to goals, I just wanted to say that I'm ready to go wherever you want to take it.
No, that's okay. I think if you consume any of your content, if anybody consumes your content, it all begins with the same message, that start with contribution. That's always been your brand. So I appreciate you making sure that that gets out there, because I think all of us tend to forget that sometimes. You're lost in your own ego. So
right.